All right.
Let's set this up. A couple weeks ago, Alison was with us talking all things WNBA, which is going to be our discussion today.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like most of our guests do, she delivered a mic drop moment of the year in talking about Kennedy Carter.
Mm-hmm.
And the discussion was, what do they do with Kennedy Carter? And then Allie just said, keep the bitch.
Yep.
Which had this whole panel screaming in laughter.
Yes.
What is she going to deliver today? My next 3 words are as follows.
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Allie is here and she's with us. She is every Tuesday. Hi, Allie.
Hey there. How are you guys?
How you doing?
We're doing awesome. Thank you. Gorgeous day. Happy fall day. It's yep. And by the way, you misquoted me, baby.
Uh-oh.
I said, sign the bitch. Kennedy Carter needs to be on that team. That's all I'm saying. That's right.
UCD have brought us Alison Moran, and she drops it again.
You gave me the open, baby. I'm going to follow that open.
Good.
That's what.
About 30 seconds in, we already get the mic drop. This segment's cooked.
Mm-hmm. You say
it's what I do. Speaking
of WNBA, we have a winner-take-all Game 5 on the docket, do we not?
We certainly do. Connecticut Sun and the Minnesota Lynx tonight. It's going to be a nail biter. I'm predicting it's going to go to overtime. Game 5 is it. Here's how it breaks down. On Sunday, okay, you've got the Connecticut Sun have never won a WNBA title. Surprising. That 28 years. Guess what? Neither has the New York Liberty, who made their final on Sunday, and hey, there we'll see what happens with that. But tonight, you have got 2 teams that are desperate to get to the next level, and they're playing at the Target Center. So. Let's break it down a little bit. On Sunday, Taisha Harris, 20 points. Let's see. You've got Alyssa Thomas, DeWanna Bonner, 18 points. DiJonai Carrington, who's the subject of another controversy that I'd like to cover this morning with Christine Brennan. We'll get to that later. Now, if Connecticut wins tonight, it's going to be a battle of the never-hads in the final.
Yep.
Neither have won a championship, and this is going to be big. Connecticut leads the all-time series between the Lynx and the and Connecticut. Their all-time series 44 to basically, sorry about that. Their regular season series wins 32 to 27 overall. Okay. So, Connecticut took the first game, 73 to 70. That was a nail biter. Minnesota comes back the second 2 games, 77 to 70 and 90 to 81 for their next 2. Sunday's was a 92-82 win. And we got a problem here. The Sun's going to be without Tiffany Mitchell. So we've got a major player who's probably going to be playing out. What they should do is the likely starting line for the Sun is going to be Tyesha Harris, DiJonai Carrington, DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, and Brianna Jones. But expect them to substitute in Marina Mabry, the Chicago Sky's most fervent mistake of 2024 is to let her go. You can also every time they're going to take an outside shot, they need Marina Mabry in there. Okay, that's going to make a difference. Now it should be a good combination to get those guys in there. Also, Veronica Burton off the bench. Minnesota should be for Minnesota, it should be a powerhouse combination. Courtney Williams, Kayla McBride, Bridget Carlton, and of course, Nafisa Collier and Alyssa Smith and Natasha Hedeman. Those are the probable lineups for tonight. What do I expect? I'm expecting that they're on the Target Center floor. Yep. I'm expecting overtime tonight. I'm expecting.
I wouldn't be surprised one bit.
I would suspect 2 overtimes for this game to be completed. Who do I expect to win? Damnation, that's a toss-up. Damnation, I give them even odds. I'll tell you. I will tell you that. The odds favor the home team. The odds favor Minnesota. However, Connecticut has been a surprise all year long. They, just like the Liberty, have said numerous times that this is the year they're going all for broke. This is the year that they feel they have the talent. That's one of the reasons why they really wanted Mabry on that team. There are odds makers. Now the money lines for all those betting folks in the audience. Okay, Connecticut. There's a let's see. The Connecticut has, God, I just saw this and and now what's wrong with me? I cannot find money line. The Sun is a plus 66, 166. And the Lynx, believe it or not, even playing at home, are a negative 193. Go figure. Go figure.
Indeed.
What's that?
Go figure, indeed.
Yeah. The spread is the Sun at a plus 5, and we'll see. I'm going to give it to the Connecticut Sun. What's that?
That's who I'm picking. I'm picking Connecticut. I'm picking Connecticut to win it.
The whole thing or just tonight?
Just tonight.
Yeah,
because winning the whole thing has been a toss-up all year, and it's something we had talked about from the get-go, how much of a toss-up it would be. Tonight is no different. 2 of the best teams going at it in a winner-take-all game 5 with a spot in the WNBA Finals on the line, and we will indeed be covering the WNBA Finals. And good luck to both teams tonight. There was something else that you wanted to touch, and I'm glad that you put this in the roster, and that is the shakeup of the front office of the Indiana Fever. It's all yours.
Okay. Well, as you probably know, Linn Dunn came out of retirement to be the general manager of the Indiana Fever. And the poor lady is so tired. She's had a 45-year career. She deserves a little rest. She's moving to a senior advisor role, and Amber Cox is taking over in Linn's position. Now, here's the deal with Amber Cox. She doesn't have the same kind of ties to the current roster of players on the Indiana Fever as Linn Dunn has. Linn Dunn was the one who drafted Caitlin Clark. She was the one to have, let's just say, Caitlin Clark is going to be so protected. There's going to be armor around that woman.
Oh yeah,
we can only hope so, because she took a beating this past season.
Yeah, she did.
She certainly did, and she's somehow come out of it unscathed so far. We may hear later on how much time she spent in therapy to make sure that happened. It's going to be a real interesting thing, though, this season. We've got one Kelsey Mitchell, whose contract may or may not be renewed. I'm voting here for renewal for
Same
Kelsey. Here. She is amazing. It's going to change the roster some, though, and my guess here is that they are going to be in a Amber Cox. She's been around the WNBA for a very long time, and she is going to she was brought in to market the team better and make better decisions. Now, I don't know how much better a decision you could make than what Linn Dunn has accomplished through the last couple of seasons. But I think that what's going to happen with Amber Cox is that she is going to be strengthening, first of all, the player and management relations. I think at times there's been issues there. They've another question she's going to be responsible for is who they're going to protect in the dispersal draft for the Valkyries of Golden State. And this is going to be an interesting decision for them, because the core of the Indiana Fever can only get stronger over the next year. And I'm guessing that some of their bench players are going to be the ones that go, but Kelsey Mitchell is the most vulnerable in this scenario. I say, can I say it again?
Say it, please.
Keep the bitch. I think
it won't be the last time she says. It won't be the last time she says that, folks. I mean, but you're right. Mitchell is the key to Indiana next year. She is such a key for them. Aside of Caitlin Clark, between her, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell, Indiana has their big three. They got their big three.
Exactly. Without them, you don't get to the playoffs this next year. And Caitlin is still only going to be a sophomore in this league, and she's still going to need some refining. And kind of like Michael Jordan, you're going to need the players around her that she feels comfortable with. Let's be honest. They're a team that is building for a very long future with Caitlin Clark. And so they've got to have the people that she's comfortable with, that she knows is our go-tos, and those three made a real good triumvirate last year, I gotta say. It's now, interestingly enough, I checked on the prices of the playoff games minus Caitlin Clark, and they're lower. They are lower. They are right now. As of last night on StubHub, the highest ticket was $449. Now that's a steep drop from where it was. I'm like, geez, I could afford to go.
Right.
Not at $449, mind you, but the lowest price tickets were something like $39. Now that's more affordable for everybody, but that just shows you that there really is a Caitlin Clark effect here. And for the worst of times, it's like, my prayer is that, viewers and WNBA sports fans really come see everybody else in this league, because the league is not just Caitlin Clark. The league is this group of phenomenally talented people who have worked their asses off for the last, for 28 years. This league has built, and I mean, it's the best talent in the world. And so I'm challenging the people in Minnesota today: go out and buy those tickets for Game 5.
Because you want to see a full house at the Target Center. Target Center seats 19,000. Exactly. We know what we can do at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. That's 17,170. That's 17,174.
Yeah.
The Barclays Center in Brooklyn, that's over 18,000. You can sell that out. The Chase Center in San Francisco, that's 18,500. You know that's going to be a full house.
Exactly, especially
that's a full house.
Yeah,
every time.
Yeah, especially for a first-year team. I mean, it's going to be exciting to have Golden State back in the game in women's basketball. I can't wait. It's going to be fabulous. I may actually have an excuse to visit my little brother out there.
You got a few excuses to visit your little brother out there.
I do have
one of them is the Chase Center.
I
want to get an excuse to go out to San Francisco and take my bride with me.
I do have a question. I do have a question.
What, honey?
After the All-Star weekend this last season, with the shootout heard around the world between Steph and Sabrina, I want to know, do you think there will be more crossovers like that? Maybe in the skills department? I mean, heck, maybe in a slam dunk contest where you have some of the WNBA players that slam dunk, have them come in and then kind of challenge the guys with it. Do you think that's going to be in the future? I
would love it. Now, years ago, when I was working with Les Grobstein and Steve Leventhal, I actually suggested something similar to that, having a shootout with the guys. And even having, like a couple of exhibition games, WNBA versus NBA. They said, and Les looked at me and he goes, "Are you crazy? Are you nuts that the guys would pulverize any woman out there?" I'm going and I'm saying, come on. What you think we're so delicate we can't take it?
I mean, at least give it a try.
You know how Grobber is.
Yeah.
I've had the pleasure of working with Les Grobstein. God bless him, but
God rest his soul.
Exactly. God rest his soul. God rest you, Les Grobstein.
Yes.
Les was such a character.
He was. Right. I mean, he was one of my best friends in the entire world, and and it's because of him basically that I'm here today, because he really fought for me and fought for my life, in the sports world, and was my protector, my friend, and put me up for every job that I ever had in sports. And it's you can't you can't minimize or explain how special that was. And
Right.
the fact is, he was a great proponent of women's sports and of women getting into the action. He was the first play-by-play guy for the Chicago Sky,
Yes,
he was, and made sure that he fought for me to get the position as a sports blogger way back when on the now defunct yoursportsfan.com, and worked for that company for almost 20 years. And it was it was because of him. And so, but in terms of men women competition, he was so old school. And
and then Allie runs into me and I'm saying, bring it on. Let's see what happens.
I mean,
exactly. Well, you're a younger generation too, Brian. And that I would absolutely love to see a skills challenge. I really would.
So would I.
Yeah.
And what prompted that for me was seeing, and I think this name should sound familiar to a lot of folks from Chicago. Her name is Candace Parker.
Yes.
And Candace surprised me. I was doing a game at UIC. The whole crew was there. We were in between games. And all of a sudden, Candace Parker just came and sat next to me, and I started shaking. This when she was at Naperville Central. She just came in with that big smile and goes, "Hi, how are you?" And like, "Hi."
Right.
And she said, "What's wrong?" And God bless her, Candace reminds me of my children with that sweet smile of hers. I said, Candace, I have a request. Before I could finish the request, she's putting a headset on.
All right.
I'll put it like this. Candace Parker has always been like a very gracious, sweet individual.
Yes.
She's seen what I think we actually called some of her games. So she's always been a very sweet individual.
Yeah.
I love her
so much. It was so much fun. It's so much fun covering women's sports. I remember one year I had the chance to follow UIC women's basketball for the entire year. And you know this very well, trying to do this on your own, minus a budget, trying to compete with some of the other folks in Chicago. It prevents such a problem. But I will say this, Eric Simpson, who is now the athletic director, I believe, at Marist, did a huge favor for me when he would line up the games for me, especially the ones nearby, talking about Wisconsin, Michigan, and all. And all that, you know, he would give me some of the best deals on how to get up there, and I would get a rental. I drove up to Wisconsin, saw them knock off Wisconsin. The only ones I couldn't make were the ones out on the West Coast because I had duties in Chicago at the time. But covering women's basketball in Chicago, that was the best thing, which leads to this. A mutual friend of ours, Doug Bruno, is on a medical leave from DePaul. And this will be his 39th season at DePaul. 39 years.
39 years, 50 years in the business. 50 years, including 3 seasons as the former Chicago Hustle head coach, and 1979 to 81. Yeah, Doug is a very, he's the most patient, the most gracious coach that I have ever met in my entire life. He suffered what people are terming a medical incident. They're not being specific about what it is, but he has right now an indefinite medical leave, and we wish him all the best. We pray for his safe healing and return to the bench of the Blue Demons. And right now, Jill Pizzotti is taking the team in. They start their season on October 18th with an exhibition game, and the regular season opens November 6th. But let's take a look at some of the things that he has done. He's competed in 26 NCAA tournaments, 17 in a row.
Yep.
From the aughts of 2000 through the mid 2000s. He's reached the Sweet 16 4 times. And as you said, 50 years at coach and 39 at DePaul. And the thing is that seeing the DePaul Blue Demons without Doug Bruno behind the bench is going to be very unusual. I don't recall him ever taking time off, but I don't want to speculate on the cause, but the man is 73 years old. He is, after all, a college sports Hall of Famer already, deservedly so. He has also he assisted Gino Auriemma and USA women's basketball, helping them to one of their 8 or 9 gold medals now. And I mean, this man is just a legend in his own time. Let's right now just wish him all of the best in the entire world and pray for his very quick recovery. I mean, at 73 years old, I mean, these old guards, Gino Auriemma, and Doug Bruno are the two kind of left standing from that era of when women's basketball became prominent. It was Pat Summitt at Tennessee. It was Kay Yao at North Carolina State. It was all these people who now have, floors dedicated to them, like Doug Bruno Arena at McGrath Arena. That's who he is.
I've done so many games at McGrath Arena and covering girls basketball in the public league and women's basketball there at DePaul. Yeah. And I wanted to cover DePaul so badly that Coach Bruno himself said, come on by for a couple of games. I got you on press row. And what makes him even more fun, I've been to DePaul's season opener for men's and women's basketball. They held it at McGrath Arena. Of course, the PA announcer, very dear friend of mine, Gene Honda.
Oh yeah,
there emceeing the.
I adore Gene.
And seeing the opportunities, man. I'm gonna make my way up there. I'm bringing my bride with me, and I'm gonna do my best to get on the mailing list and on the press list for DePaul women's basketball. And we gotta go. This is Alison Moran joining us here on the program, as she always does every Tuesday with the Token Female. My dear, you're an absolute delight and a breath of fresh air. I thank you.
As are you.
See you next week.
All righty. See you next week. Enjoy the day. And gosh, go WNBA finals. We'll have a lot to talk about.
We'll have a lot to talk about. Thank you, Allie.
All righty. Bye-bye.